First up was EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt, who was drilled by reporters about the hardship waivers being doled out by the agency.
And what's happened historically that has not worked well is that DOE and the EPA have not been working together and collaboratively. We have, and that's we use their data, and we make informed decisions based upon their data, and it's objectively and statutorily driven.
However, Pruitt offered few specifics.
I can't emphasize enough that the granting of the small refinery exemptions is objectively determined. It's not policy, it's not subjective.
The administrator additionally addressed the controversy surrounding the approval of E15.
I think it's a debatable question on whether it's Congress or a regulatory response. That's why it's taken us time to address that. We want to make sure we get our ducks in a row if we take that step from a regulatory perspective.
Secretary Perdue also stopped by for a few questions from reporters. The secretary has spent most of his first year in office walking the fine line between catering to his rural constituents and supporting President Trump's policies, most notably on trade.
The goal of the president is not to require agricultural producers in this country to be the only soldiers in the battle. We know that there will be some temporary trade disruptions, and I do believe that most farmers, most ranchers, most ag people are patriots. I think they're Americans first, and they understand when China's cheating, somebody needs to call their hand on it.
Perdue went on to discuss what remedies rural America might have if a trade war breaks out with China.
We're looking very closely to see, meeting with the sorghum producers specifically right now, watching pork very carefully in that, but we don't want to move too quickly. We don't want to move in a way that would set a precedent of expectation from all producers. Any farmer knows there's market risk. There's enough market risk out there with weather and just general trade markets and different things like that. We don't want them to be the victims of trade dispute market disruption.
And on the issue of E15, the secretary offered his thoughts on the stalemate between ethanol producers and oil companies.
We think if we expand the E15 waiver, that will put enough RINs in the market to make sure that RIN prices are fairly traded.
Perdue says another meeting on the approval of E15 will happen in the coming days, but gave no specific date.